The year is 2020. As the old financial empires collapsed and crypto drowned in noise and false prophets, one man lost everything. And in that loss, he was called. Through the wreckage of his own failure and the precision of his charts, a higher force revealed what others could not see and entrusted him with a mission to guide others through the chaos he barely survived. They call him Sacred Prophet. And now, the revelation is yours to claim.
Go for it.
It's a dark day for Bitcoin. I am your humble and meek host, Sacred Prophet. You're watching Sunday Fuel for November 16th, 2025. I'm joined here with my plucky sidekick, my Aaron in training, Peter, Bad Guru Hartman. Peter, round of sadness and cries for the audience.
I got my apocalyptic clothing on. It's red here, the red wedding. Pouring out for the homies.
It is a sad day, Peter, because we have Bitcoin now on futures here at $93,400. That's right. That's right, Peter. We are at the level where everyone is screaming, bear market. We are at the level where everyone is wondering, where are all the longs?
Bring me everyone. What do you mean everyone?
Everyone!
And they are not here. They are nowhere to be found. Shorts galore. But we cannot find leverage longs in order to save our lives. And the Lord of Liquidity is paying us back in tenfold with what we deserve. Pain, sadness. For those who weren't paying attention, for those who are paying attention, we are quite happy right now. Why? Because one of two things will occur. Either we will bounce exactly at this level, exactly this week, and we're going to double Bitcoin at a speed people can't even wrap their tits around. They don't even realize it. Okay. We're going to bounce so hard. Or we're headed to a bear market, in which case we'll make money all the way down. Because we're traders, damn it. We're fishers of Bitcoin, fishers of alpha. And that's what the Lord of Liquidity prepares us for. Did the Lord of Liquidity, Peter, tell us that we will only have green days from here on to the end of time?
No.
Hell no. Did the Lord of Liquidity say that if we follow what He guides us to do, that we will make profit, no matter what season it is? That's right. But you must listen to the Sacred Prophet. If you do, then you have a direct line to the Lord of Liquidity, and you know what to do. So we've been calling here, Peter.
Wait. What's the point you're making there? It sounded grandiose.
The point I'm making here,
even though it looks like dark times, if you believe and have faith the size of a mustard seed in the Lord of Liquidity, that you'll be able to make profit?
Yes, but even more than that, there are no dark times when you're following the Lord of Liquidity. He is the light, and I am the way. That's how it is. Just got to really associate that sound with like good feelings. Now, I'm not saying you got to do your own research. This is not financial advice. But if you were to think to yourself that right now watching this is you doing your research, I don't know that I can't say that you should think that way. Legal? We're going to scratch that out.
Yeah, do your own research. We got Samantha Barley in the chat here who is laughing. Haha, look at you, dork. Excuse me?
Has incurred the sentence of excommunication.
Samantha, get out of here, okay? Beat it. I want to play with you. All right. I'm sitting here with my prop firm account, already made my win in trade at 6 o'clock, 6:13, already up. And I'm a third of the way to my next goal, to make another cool $500. And I watch what people are saying online, worried. I don't get it. Michael Saylor told me that my bags would be printing. Yeah. False Prophet Saylor says a lot of things. Buy the dip.
False prophet.
Well, I shouldn't say that because he is going to be a guest on our show today. As soon as we get to, as I promised, if you guys get to 1 million concurrent viewers, Michael Saylor will come on. So share it, send it out to friends. Promise is a promise. He's sitting in backstage right now, probably. I think my producers were sort of telling me, I don't know, waving me down over there, but I think he's in the back room over there, just waiting. I guaranteed 1 million concurrent viewers. Michael Saylor himself will be here. TM.
Move the mic a little bit further away from your mouth, bro.
Let's take a look quickly here.
Just
at
want the
Bitcoin
audio to
here.
peak. All right.
What's crazy
okay.
here is Peter.
Hang on.
I'm sick for a week.
Wait. Okay. I will be damned if I'm going to sit here and allow you to slander the good name of Sir Saylor. Okay. Michael Saylor is a god among men. And I do not endorse what you're saying. Okay. May the Lord of liquidity strike me down.
Peter.
Yeah.
I'm looking for my sound. I changed my soundboard and I can't find the right sound for it.
Good.
I need a good thunder. I don't have it here.
You don't have
what I can do is this. There,
What?
that works.
Okay. All right.
That's from Dune.
Yeah.
Silence.
Oh, okay. I guess
a very
it's
long
good.
one.
Yeah.
All right. So I know that we're at one of the signs for me that we're at a bottom is when all the unbelievers crawl out of their holes and started asking me, hey, Tom, is this the end for Bitcoin? That's where I buy. If I'm going to buy at all, that's where I'm going to buy. So if we take a look at the wave indicator, we're seeing here, you see here how we're right at that red wave we talked about, right where at those levels is where we get these big mega bounces. So I'm always the most optimistic at these levels. Yes, it is the line in the sand that might lead to, if we cross over there, into a bear market. But then what am I worried about? We cross into the bear market, it's unconfirmed, I lose on the trade, and now I go short. All right? I haven't been trying to go long this whole way down. I haven't. Because obviously we needed to come get some volume at the wave levels over here. And so now we got to where we need to get to. I was calling for potentially a bounce here at this the previous low. It got invalidated, fine. And now we're at my line in the sand. This is the inception. Van hits the water. This is the last part. All right? This is the kick. And so here, what I expect is that we get news of liquidity being added emergency into the markets. Now, why do I think that? Why do I think that, Peter? If we take a look at, let's just go ahead and give me a second to pull this up.
So you're saying liquidity is coming, liquidity is coming, liquidity is coming. That sounds like good news. That doesn't sound like the bottom is in. This sounds like we're about to blast off. Crisis, you told me, is when the government steps in and injects liquidity. Are we at crisis moment? Is this a Bitcoin problem or is this a system problem?
It's a liquidity problem throughout the system. So if you take a look at my Twitter over here, this is a post on the 14th where everyone was talking about this. The New York Fed apparently held an emergency meeting with Wall Street banks to discuss money market liquidity concerns. So we've been talking about this for a couple of weeks now, both on our show and on Traders Post, the after hours, where in the repo markets, there are problems, right? There are funding problems where financial institutions needed to borrow money in order to continue liquidity operations, in order to stay liquid. And they weren't just borrowing it all because the rates were good. They had to borrow it, the stress within the system. And it's always what stress is ubiquitous. It's all around where phones start ringing and they have to fix this problem. And the fact that they're doing that on a weekend, well, this falls into what Peter likes to naively describe as good.
I think most people know what good means, all right? Naively.
This is calling your sweet daddy in order for him to bail you out of jail, in order for him to float you some money from your trust fund early, because your 17th year isn't going as smoothly as you thought. But you're his only son, and he's a bad parent. So I'm excited. I'm excited this is happening. Let the cracks happening. And this is happening at year end, right? And it's happening in a Trump administration. And Trump has made it very clear he wants markets to be up and to the right. Now, I would imagine they would have better jawboning up until now, but it hasn't been working. So let's see what happens when the stock market now. It's not Trump's fault. I will never blame the leader of the whole global empire.
Government shutdown. You have everybody coming after him. It's the whole Epstein thing. That's a distraction.
That's true. That's true. And he didn't have the support of the high priest Powell. Right now, the odds of a cut, I should take a look at it. Actually, let's take a look at on Polymarket. It's like a 42% chance of a rate cut in December.
Wait, didn't Jerry just say there's not going to be a rate cut?
Yeah, so the rate cut potential dropped from 90% to 70%, from 70% to 40%.
So it's not happening?
Oh, whoa a minute. They're going to cut rates, all right? Powell just likes to be wined and dine a little bit, all right? You ever heard of the Powell pivot? He'll give it up. He'll hike that skirt up and he'll give it up. But you gotta toast him a bit. You gotta glaze him a bit. And Trump's not very good at glazing. He's very much a grab them by the nethers sort of person, right?
Okay.
Very much a rule by tweet sort of situation. So I get it. They're bumping heads. But Trump doesn't drink. And Jerome Powell has $100 million. So they're going to work this out. Are they going to work it out before the end of the year? That's what we're hoping for. Okay. So, one, this problem's already in the money markets to the point where they're doing emergency meetings on weekends. The last time I heard of an emergency meeting on a weekend was February 19th, 2020. I think that's the last time I heard of an emergency weekend.
Didn't something happen? I think something might have happened. Some type of crisis happened around that time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was called the China virus. And it's the big hubbub. But what happened is that it came out the next day. Okay, rates. Hey, look, data dependent, blah, blah, blah. We got to cut rates. And what happened? Okay, fine. The stock market fell a little bit. And then after that, it was up and to the right. Okay. Then we also had this issue with, this is a story that's been floated around. This is from First Squawk on X, who's stating that Bank of America expects foreign exchange volatility, so the Forex market, to pick up as U.S. economic data releases resume after the government shutdown. So with the government shutdown, we had a bunch of data that did not come through. A strategist said that the dollar will swing more as rate expectations diverge between the U.S. and other major economies. This is volatility within the dollar. The bank noted that currency calm had stemmed from narrowing yield spreads and delayed data, which muddied dollar sentiment. Investor positioning on the greenback has turned neutral, with short bets on sterling and crowding into the yen despite its weakness. This lends to this idea of a dollar up scenario. And so if we have a dollar up scenario, that's bad for liquidity and bad for equities in general. So we're seeing over here this rise in the dollar. This is a rise inside of the dollar that we saw since September 17th, the Powell meeting where they cut rates. The dollar was going up, and now the question is: are we going to continue going up, maybe up to the yearly average at 101.16 on the DXY, or are we going to move lower still? I don't know. I suspect that we're going to move up there to that level before we move down, because these sorts of liquidity things don't normally get cleared up unless it's like a major catastrophe. They don't usually get cleared up within a couple of days, a couple of weeks. Usually takes a couple of months. So I do expect that by the end of the year, things pick up. So the big question here for Bitcoin is the momentum done? Are we done with the downside momentum? We don't front run things. There's no reason to front run things. To me, this is a good place to be along. And when we take a look at the levels that we're going to be expecting over the levels we're going to be expecting for this week, we have Bitcoin at, let me just pull that up here. The Bitcoin weekly level is going to be at, oh, is that high? Yeah. Bitcoin weekly level is going to be at 99.9. So that is something like
What does that mean?
that where the price is right now for Bitcoin at around 94,000 on Bitcoin futures. The weekly level that we normally target to be like, hey, what's the bias for the week? What's the lean for the week? Is 6% up from here. The next level up, weekly level up, is 6% up from here, almost at 100,000. That means we can have a bounce like that and still be, if we're going to head to a bear market, we could still be heading to a bear market, but it could be a méchant bounce. All right. So we have that level, a weekly level to pay attention towards the top of us, while we're sitting on support here at the yearly level. And the yearly level is where we often get big bounces, just like this we saw before when Bitcoin went up 100% in just a couple of weeks, couple of months. And we saw that again over here, this bounce here, and further down here, bounce over here. So the red level, that yearly level, is a strong level of support. So I'm bullish until we break that. I will only become bearish if we break this, head lower, come back up, and retest. All right, that retest might be a while. That retest during the last cycle was here. So we fell down here, and then we came up and we retested it, but that took, from the break to the retest, took 83 days. Right? So if you're placing shorts here going, okay, we're headed all the way down, 80% down in Bitcoin, no, that was not the time to do it. It took some time to retest that break. All right, so I'm not looking to be a hero here. If we get that retest, there's plenty of room to the downside. Look at that beautiful retest. Plenty of room to the downside once that retest gets confirmed. So I'm not looking to rush the gun over here. I'm looking for, if I'm going to be switching to bearish, if the Lord of Liquidity is going to be whispering into my ear that bearish is what we need to be, we want to break below here, move up and down, okay, at some point. Now, we didn't get any euphoria. Altcoins didn't run up like crazy. There was a bunch of money that flowed into the system. And so there's not a huge amount of levered longs that need to be liquidated. These are long-term holders that are selling. How much will they sell? Who knows? But what we do know is that the government is likely to pass the Clarity Act and the Genius Act, that we're going to get government buying of the assets with the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve. And that would be, I mean, when the government starts buying what you're selling, just look at universities. Prices go up. Prices don't go down when government buys stuff.
This must be exactly what the government wants. A low price on Bitcoin. I know you told me the government doesn't care the price of Bitcoin, but the powers that be, people behind the scenes, they're probably waiting for all of us to just give up, sell, and price goes down, and then they can snatch it all up from the unbelievers. Don't you think?
Peter, from peak to trough here, we're down what, 16%? Okay, we're down 26%. All right. 33% is the golden number. Up to a 30% drawdown in a bull market for Bitcoin is totally normal. 32, 33%. Right? If I'm going to be thinking about what you're talking about, I got to see lower than that. I got to see something like what we saw during the last cycle.
Bro, we're headed lower.
Remember the last cycle? There was a 50% drop from peak to trough, 55%.
Yeah.
And
I don't care about your history
because we
lesson.
didn't even, one more time?
I don't care about your history lesson. We're going down, okay? We're falling right now. You're watching a man literally free falling through the sky, and you're like, he might not go lower. He's going lower, okay? I don't know what you're talking
What are
about.
you waiting for, huh? What are you waiting for?
Peter, we did not close below the yearly average. That 50% drawdown was immediately reversed and we went to all-time highs.
We about to
Point
close
where
below it.
me, Richard Hart, and Gareth Soloway called for a top, and then we fell. All right?
Okay,
The
go
three
back to where we are
wise
now.
men, they call us.
Right. Go back to where we are now. Okay, go back to reset the chart. Go back to where we are. Okay. Did you believe over the past few weeks, months, that the wave would rise up and mitigate that level? Or did you believe that it's going to go down and bear market will start? What did you think?
The wave did come up and mitigate that level.
You just said 92. We haven't hit. What are you talking about?
I don't have it here. Let me just put it on the chart. You'll see.
That red right there, that red purple line, whatever that line is.
When you say mitigate the level, the only levels are from our levels indicator. Oh, I put the wrong one on. 1 second. You're talking about our levels indicator, the straight lines, right?
I'm talking about that. You said that wave, if it goes up above 92,000 or whatever the heck it was, then we're safe.
That was this line here,
and we're not going to go down.
That would be my expectation. Exactly. That's why I think we're bouncing from here.
Oh, you do think the bear market is not in?
Correct.
Oh.
There's no point in calling bear markets early. There's no point.
Okay. So Bitcoin's bottom must be drawn. He-yah! What does that mean?
We've made too many compromises already. Too many retreats. They invade our space, and we fall back. They assimilate entire worlds.
Is Gandalf?
And we fall back.
Hey, you can't play all this.
Not again.
Hey, you can't play all this.
Yeah. This far, no further.
Wait, who is that?
Jean-Luc Picard.
Oh yeah,
Jean-Luc the line Picard. Must be drawn here.
That's right. That's right.
All
I don't think you can play all that. I don't want to get copyright stricken.
Sure you can. It's commentary for use.
Right. Commentary on Star Trek. Okay, so
if they clip it out of my thing, I'll cut it out.
Oh, wait, so you're saying the sky's not falling? That everyone's wrong?
I think all the losers are wrong. The people who don't have the Lord of Liquidity whispered in their ears, they have no idea. But I get it. They're not the chosen.
Oh, right.
They're out there following Michael Saylor saying, buy now with a Bitcoin B on Twitter going, I guess that's my indicator. Excuse me? Are you crazy? We buy at our levels, and then we get what we get, and we don't get upset. All right? And then if the price breaks down over here and confirms this level, then we go short, and we're happy to make money on the downside. And if you feel so, just invert your chart. It'll feel like it's going up anyway. We don't care what the absolute number for Bitcoin is. We are path dependent. We are traders. We make money as the price moves. And the only people who needs to be sad are people who are, I'm sorry, why does HODL and HOPE share two of the same letters? HOPE is not an investment strategy. HOPE is not an indicator. We get in, we get out. We get in, we get out.
So okay. You must be okay. Well, I mean, whether it's bull or bear, aren't you going to be happy when we hit the bear market, especially with your prop firm? They'll be able to understand the levels and know where Bitcoin is going. Isn't that what you're waiting for?
Yes. Well, now because I've traded prop firm, I get the benefit of both things. When I first started talking about that, I wasn't trading prop firms. And so what I cared a lot about was the trend for Bitcoin, right? So I know that we were in a bull trend, and I just behave in a bullish way. You buy the dips until the bull trend is over. And since I know what my line in the sand is, my yearly average, once we break below there, happy, now I can short. And the great thing about shorting is that it goes way faster than the bull side, because it's about a year's worth of price action, 80%, 90%, for Bitcoin to come down. And so the drops are pretty significant. You can make your money real quick. And the bounces for that, if you want to play the bounces, you can get 30 to 50% bounces on the other side. Average 25, but you can get really big bounces on the other side. And it's not a mystery to us because we know the levels for which it's going to bounce. We know where it's going to bounce to. And so you just make money, boom, 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 all the way through until we get down to the bottom. And the bottom is going to be somewhere around the $50,000 level. So we know, generally speaking, where the bottom will be. We know. So that's what makes me so excited about it. Plus, on top of that, if you're in the prop firm space, where you're holding positions just for the day and you're using non-recourse leverage because you're using prop firm challenges in a simulated environment, you can end up, and that's my goal now, you could be making far more money with short-term moves and then have your leverage crypto futures be your longer-term play. So I could hold a short, right? And I could just short the bounces if I'm in a bear market. And then in my prop firm, I just use that to trade the 15-minute, the hourly, the daily in between as I enjoy all the volatility on the charts. It's like the best of all worlds. So to me, it feels like a barbell strategy where I have 80% I'm holding the trend and 20% that I'm using in order to fund prompt firm moves in order to make money in the interim. Great.
So you're looking at that chart. You're seeing what's going on with Bitcoin, and you're happy.
Yes, 100%. Because the drawdown in liquidity that we're seeing is systemic, right? It's not because of Bitcoiners who are over their skis, over levered. It wasn't some meme coin pop. It wasn't some new development in the crypto space. The development is happening straightforward. We'll just take a look at the whiteboard from Charles Hoskinson for Cardano. I don't know if you saw this, with a new 4th generation of cryptocurrencies with the release of Midnight. Now privacy comes to the chain. We're not seeing any big blow ups. There's no FTX. There's no Celsius. There's no Luna. There's no 3AC Capital. There's none of that, really. What we have is this structural liquidity problem within the global financial system, which sounds big until you realize everybody in that system wants charts to go back up and to the right as far as liquidity is concerned. So they're going to come in and they're going to solve that liquidity problem. Is that this week? I don't know. Is that next month? I don't know. During the year? Who knows? But they are going to solve that. They are going to do whatever they can in order to get that number up and to the right. And so that's what we can bank on. That's what I can count on. And that's why I'm happy. Because we know we know what they're going to do. They're not going to say, well, I guess we couldn't keep the market up. It's going to be 10 years of a bear market. We're just going to have to eat the lemons we made. No, that's definitely not what they're going to do. Trump? That's not what's happening. So I'm very excited with that because we know what the playbook is.
You talked about Cardano, Charles Hoskinson. Do you have any predictions for that chart?
What I love about low liquidity levels and low hype levels is that you can really get to pay attention to the good technology that's being created. Cardano's not the only one in the space doing great things. Hedera is doing great things with HBAR. You have agentic payments that are happening within crypto spaces. You're having decentralization of AI training and inferences so that the crypto network, some crypto networks can be used in order to train AI or to provide decentralized AI. There's all these amazing things that are more than just they made a coin that sounds like Elon and so now it goes up. Or they got a bunch of celebrities to hype up SafeMoon and now it goes up. We're actually seeing technological developments that are happening that are not dependent on the liquidity of the market, right? So it's not one of those things where, oh, that crypto chain is great, but because the market went down, now they were really banking on unbelievable returns because of how high their crypto was going. No, these people are building within a dry spell, no euphoria. So it's super exciting to see what's going on over there. And when you're seeing what's going on in the Cardano space, how they're touching the development of the bills, they help with the bills, right? Not the only ones, but they're helping with the bills to pass crypto clarity, some regulations for crypto. When you're seeing Midnight launch, which is, I think, the most exciting that I've ever seen, actually bringing privacy on the blockchain
can you say that
to
again?
every coin.
Say that again. You cut out.
When you see Midnight, the new Midnight token from the Cardano network, a crypto coin that is bringing privacy to the blockchain so that you don't have to have privacy off to the side. It's on the blockchain using the same technology and done in such a way that every other chain can participate, can have privacy within their apps, within their uses of the protocol. To me, it's just absolutely mind-blowing, and it opens up a whole new world of what can actually be created in the future. Not just the new financial institutions that we can have. They can actually move banking systems there and what have you. You could have voting, you could have medical records, you could have educational records, you could have dating, you can have all kinds of things there, because you can actually have this zero knowledge proof system on the blockchain without having to reveal the definitions of what it is. And I thought I knew all the information of what mattered. I thought I was paying attention to everything that was going on, but that whiteboard video from Charles Hoskinson was even more revealing than I thought. Like the idea that you can have an identity, but I thought it was an identity every individual person. No, anything can be identity. A bottle of wine, your dog, could be another blockchain entirely. Anything can have this privacy component added to it. So to me, it's just absolutely unbelievable. And it's the thing that stopped people from using crypto, because they're like, I don't understand. Everyone can see all my transactions all the time. If someone knows my address, they can literally follow my funds wherever they go, whatever I'm doing. How could that ever possibly get massive adoption? Yet still, it got us to 550 whatever million users of crypto, but that's because of price appreciation. The next 500 million comes because of the privacy-enabled applications.
Did you want to look at any part of the whiteboard video from Charles?
Yeah, let me see if we can pinpoint a specific part here.
While he's doing that, I want to let everybody know that if you are looking at the Bitcoin charts and you're thinking, oh my God, it's not good, Bitcoin's going down, this is the moment where you could be making cash. And if the bear market should strike, if for some reason the game is over for Bitcoin and we're going into bear market territory, you gotta remember that Sacred Profit is the place you want to be, because we can actually make more when the price is going down than when it's going up. Why? Because when we go up, it's blue sky territory. We don't really know the levels. We're guessing. But when we go down, we have all the levels that we need. And we can predict where price is going more accurately. Is it a guarantee? No. But if anybody's out there getting sorry and sad because Bitcoin isn't as high as you want, we don't care about the price of Bitcoin. What we care about is it reflecting? Is it moving in a way that makes sense to us? And can we profit from that move? And with the indicators at sacredprofit.com, you can do just that.
All right, this might be a little bit wonky, a little bit heady, but I love this section of AI, of Midnight Token, because it has to do with AI and agentic behaviors and the understanding where the internet's could be moving towards. Now, there's all kinds of things that a cryptocurrency, if they're going to last over the next 50 years, you've got to keep in mind, right? Quantum computing, compliance with regulations in multiple jurisdictions, ease of onboarding, all that sort of thing. But agentic systems, to me, is like super cool. And the idea that they've thought about this, to me, is unbelievable. So let's just watch this for a minute here.
Talk about our good friend, agents. We are here in the dawn of AI. ChatGPT 5.1 just got released today. Pretty exciting. We're in the dawn of agents. And there's this concept of agentic commerce. So recently, I went down to the Amazon, old Charles Hoskinson. I decided to do the Tukandera, a bullet ant ritual. And I wanted to buy a hat.
Okay, let me just jump past this. He's talk about his hat for a few minutes. So let's just move forward. The idea is that he buys something online, and as he bought them online, the advertising he was getting from then on was all about Amazon hats, because he had done such research, because that information was freely available to the e-commerce platform. So
that's the
he goes on about the hat for, he goes on about the hats for a little while. So let's see what he says here.
I think a lot of people have experienced that kind of creepy feeling where you talk about something or just in passing you Google it and then it's just everywhere. I mean, there
That's
are
right.
times where I haven't Googled it. I've just spoken about it around my phone and I could swear that it's picking it up. Very, very
I've
disturbing,
had
especially
thoughts.
considering what?
I've thought about something, but you get accepted, so you don't realize that, oh, it's because I saw something and now I
Right.
had to thought about it. But you just realize the thought, and then the thing shows up. You're like, oh, they're reading my mind. No, it's worse. They put something in my mind. I didn't realize it, and now they're advertising it to me.
Amazon, you're not going to go to review sites. You're going to tell an artificial intelligence, an agent, I want to buy a hat. And it's going to say, what do you want to do with that hat? Where are you going? What's the point? What's your budget? It's going to ask you a game of questions. I want ... And then it's going to have questions all the way down. And after it asks enough questions, it's going to say, I got it, boss. And it's going to go off into the web.
Is this a good video? Should we
And you have
watch
the
it
human web, the safe
personally?
human place.
Sorry, one more time.
Do you recommend that viewers watch this whole thing on their own?
Oh yes, I think if you sort of been like paid attention to crypto on the edges, right? And you're like, I really don't want to go through and watch hours and hours and hours of video and read all kinds of white papers and be parts of forums, but I do want to know what's happening in the crypto space. I want to know like the totality of what's being thought about. This is the video. Like it starts off with 101. This is what Bitcoin was. And by the time you get 1/3 of the video through, you're like, oh my God, I just went through the last 15 years. And you get a sense of it. And then you move on. And you're like, oh my God, this is what people are thinking about for the next years to come? Jesus. It's really fantastic. And I don't think you've ever heard me promote a Charles Hoskinson video, other than maybe a thing here or there. This is an hour video that's absolutely worth every minute of. All right. Well, I'm going to finish off this part.
And then you have the bot web, which will be significantly larger than the human web. It's where the totality of all transactions, information, and commerce is going to be held. The human web will shrink and shrink. In fact, more than half the traffic on the internet now is non-human. It's artificial. And by 2030,
more than half the traffic on the internet now is artificial and AI. It goes in the future, before too long, it'll be mostly bot traffic, and human traffic will be it'll be the small part of the web. It'll be nothing. It'll be like when you think you really know your city, and then you realize, also, you know the electrical grid, and you know the plumbing, you know the communications threads, you know all the transportation system, you know all the back rooms, all the places you can go to, all the things that the maintenance people do, you know all the back end of stores, all the you know all that, you know all that is happening in your city. No, you know 47th Street. You don't really know everything's going on in your city. And so that's like what the web is becoming, generating. Anyway, so this is fantastic. It just makes me so excited. And it makes me feel like if you're thinking to yourself, if you're young and you're like, I'm going to go to school and I'm going to become a marine biologist, you go, dude, you're really not thinking about what the future is going to be like. That's like someone who was a farmer in the 1700s or right before the Industrial Revolution, and they're like, when I grow up, I'm going to be a beet farmer. Great. We might not need as many beet farmers as you've been led to believe. So there's young people, I go, okay, what are you doing there? Then there's people who are in our cohort, you're in the workforce, and I go, okay, so all you do, you just have the one source of income just from the one job that you're doing. Are you 100% sure that job will be there next year? You're not doing anything else in order to do anything creative. You've heard about 3D printing. You've heard of content creation. You've heard of there's a way of doing the job you're doing, but then advertising in such a way that you set yourself up in the top 20% of your people. Like, are you doing anything like that? No. Okay. And then there are people who are aged out, who they're 65 and older, and they thought to themselves, I can never be part of the workforce again. I can never get hired by someone else again. I'm screwed. oh no, you can be leveraging technology, both trading and AI and some of these other systems, in order to create. Yes, I know you're working slower, but with these systems, you'd be working now twice as much as someone who is my age who's not using the systems. You can actually have a few years now, 5, 10, 15 years of actually getting ahead and actually generating some cash faster than you might think. You don't have to sit there and just worry. You can be using these systems. And I go, oh my God, I'm just like, guys, wake up. There's opportunity everywhere. So go check out the video. Definitely share some clips online on my Twitter account. So you'll see that on Sacred Profit. And I'm talking about it for the rest of the week because now is the distribution of midnight. You can actually earn it. Even if you have no crypto, you can earn it through bounties, basically, within from the midnight.network website. And once it starts rolling out and people are able to actually fold the system into what they're doing, I can't even. He describes in the video all kinds of things that existing systems, that are popular existing systems, can do if they just adopt it now. Just crazy things.
I'm not going to bog you down with this. Maybe we'll talk about this in the future, but and I haven't seen it yet, but there's a video that Raul Powell posted on Real Vision regarding crypto privacy. Have we forgotten what crypto was all about? I can't believe he posted a video like that. I wonder if he mentions midnight in that video. That's all right. So I'm going to go watch it then, let you know. But a remarkable the Solana guy is now going, hey, privacy is really important. Oh, welcome.
Let's bolt it on. Let's add some privacy on there.
All right.
Yeah. All right, guys. That's it for Sunday Fuel for today. We're going to be back tomorrow for Daily Bread with Tom Hartman. I've been gone for a week. I've been sick for a week, still under the weather. Also was in New York. So,
hey, New York. Hey,
yeah.
You have some New York pizza.
New York pizza. Not impressed whatsoever. We'll be back. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. But it's been fun to watch what's going on. If Bitcoin breaks down into bearish territory, I will be the first to let you know. So please like and subscribe on this channel because no one else has a direct line to the Lord of Liquidity quite like your boy Tom. See you guys. Have fun.